looks like jumped on it.
Could it be another turnover? Returning that was Lamont first half.
Yeah, it looked like the ball came out after. Really, the line's doing a great job of getting him those gaps and those holes for him to go right through, and another great performance from the line on that play.
So timeout on the field as both teams are going to talk over how they want to play the last 33 seconds. Ryan, as we look back on this first half, it has been all Highland Hawks.
Oh, yeah, for sure. 4 forced turnovers, if you're including those 2 turnovers on downs. But the one thing that I've been really impressed with is just the mixture of the run and the pass from the offense. I can't get over how well they're doing, how a great job they're doing just mixing it in and out. And I think they're going to go the pass here. If I were Highland, go for the end zone a couple times. You've gotten a lot of busted coverage so far from the Jaguars secondary. See if you can get one more for a touchdown going into halftime.
I'm not even sure I can name a time that Cole Crandall was properly covered by the Jaguar defense. He's going to line up in the slot on 2nd down and 4 to his outside, flanking him for the first time tonight is number 12, Gage Wilcox. They have 5 wide receivers.
Looks like the strong safety is going to have to come down and take on Crandall.
All alone is Walters. They throw to Wilcox. It's almost intercepted and returned for a touchdown. Good pursuit there by Landry as he got to the ball.
The one thing there was if Walters would have been more patient, you saw Crandall burn Temperado, and it could have had an easy touchdown there on the same side of the field. Seems like Highland wants to get some quick yardage and call a timeout, but they could have had a touchdown there. Just got to be more patient.
So they bring a new running back in. It's Fella Grady, and he'll motion left to right. Now he's on the right shoulder of Walters. Walters will throw the bubble screen to the outside. It's dropped. Dropped by his intended target, Ezekiel Nautu. And it's going to bring up 4th down. So do they bring the kicking unit on and try and test the leg here? It's going to be outside the 25-yard line where the ball is spot. So this is going to be about a 40-plus yard field goal.
It looks like they're going to bring out the kicker, Crew Crockett.
What a great name. And we'll see if Crockett, who has been perfect on extra points tonight.
Could this be a time where you see another fake?
Very possible.
It wouldn't shock me if they went to it after that 2-point conversion.
You're asking the right questions as Crockett puts every bit of his right foot into that, and it just ends up short. He's frustrated with himself, but that was a promising kick.
It looked good. It looked like a good kick.
For as much power as he put behind that, he had it on line, and that's really all you can ask for as a kicker.
Yeah.
So no points on the drive for Highland.
That's the first time they've gone a drive without scoring points, especially a touchdown.
Yeah, I was just about to mention that, Ryan. The first time all night that the Hawks have possessed the ball and not scored.
They have truly dominated this game on both sides. And now you have the Jaguars who have 3 timeouts. Could they get themselves potentially in a spot where they could kick a last-second field goal?
Well, they're going to need to rely on the arm of their quarterback, Travis Emmons, and tonight it is not delivered like they would have hoped. But they're going to leave Emmons out alone in the backfield. Now, they might bring a running back in to help with protection.
Looks like they're going to bring in Wolver for protection, or you could see him go out on the flat.
So they're going to rely on Emmons for this drive, and we'll see if this drive is able to boost his confidence. Highland has about...
It looks like Highland jumped off sides. It looked like on the outside it was number 20.
Highland has about 5 defensive backs on the field, so they're going to play about as conservatively as possible. Offsides, as you mentioned, good call.
And it looks like they're going to go with a cover 2 concept here, just trying to maintain strong defense and not surrender any points here.
And what's the cover 2 concept? Explain that.
Honestly, the way that it's been described is prevent. You have all your guys back. You're just preventing the big play to where they cannot put up points.
To the outside and over the head of his intended target. So that'll make it 2nd down and 5. Game clock now at 20, just under 21 seconds.
Yeah, you see prevent being run in the NFL on those last-second plays. But, no, it's a good concept to go with here, especially when you've got Emmons, who has not been strong with his arm. He's continually looks uncomfortable and nervous in the pocket.
And it's not like his offensive line has been bad at protecting him.
His offensive line has done a great job of opening up holes in the run game, and they've had they've had times where they've let pressure get through, but overall they've had a solid first half.
So 2nd and 5. Emmons takes the snap. Highland only rushing 3, and Emmons makes a poor throw on the far side, incomplete.
That just seemed like a forced throw right there, trying to get the first down and trying to gain yards, and it just was not a good throw. It kind of looked like he did not go over the top with that throw. It kind of looked like he was going sidearm with it, and when I've seen quarterbacks try to go sidearm, it just seems like the throws are going low and incomplete. So they've got 3rd down and medium right now.
Highland almost looking like they're going to try and blitz, and they do, coming off the edge. It's a straight handoff, and this is likely going to take us to the end of the first half. Wolver gets the call, and just as he has this entire second quarter, is stopped after a minimal gain as we're 2 seconds away from halftime. And, Ryan, this has been a clinic put on by the Highland Hawks.
The Highland Hawks have looked great. If this is any indication of how the varsity team will play tomorrow night, fans and all of us are in for a treat.
And just remember, we will have that broadcast once again right here on the Highland Hawks TV network. Tomorrow night on the road, the Highland Hawks will play the Desert Ridge Jaguars, trying to avenge their 28-14 loss last year. So we'll be right back from Gilbert, Arizona. Highland 28, Desert Ridge nothing. Just about ready to start the second half of play from Gilbert, Arizona. This JV matchup between the Highland Hawks and the Desert Ridge Jaguars. Jack Johnson on the call. Alongside me is my good friend Ryan Blank. And Ryan, what were your impressions of that first half?
I have not seen a more dominant first half from a high school football team in a long time. On both sides of the ball, from the get-go, the Hawks almost had a safety on the first play, which was a kickoff. And, yeah, they let the Jaguars get down the field, but when their backs were up against the wall, they make plays, and they've done it the entire game. Forced 4 turnovers, including those 2 turnovers on downs, interception, a fumble. But the thing I am most impressed with is the offense. The balance that the offense has had throughout this entire game, running the ball, passing the ball. The line has been terrific. I don't think there's been a time where you have seen Joe Walters under an immense amount of pressure and gotten sacked.
Yeah, the unsung heroes of football. You got to give that offensive line credit. They've opened up holes both on the ground, and they've protected their quarterback, Joe Walters. He has not looked hurried all night long. Highlands had their way both offensively and defensively. Is that going to change in this second half?
I do not think so. Unless the Jaguars have made those very much necessary adjustments, I think it's going to be more of the same, especially with Highland starting out with the football. So it's a very much an uphill battle for the Jaguars here. It's like climbing Mount Everest for them right now. But if they can get a stop right away and score, put some pressure on the Hawks. But if the Hawks score here and continue to put up the pressure, this game could be very much over with.
Has this game almost turned into, now that it's a 4-score game, a bit of an exhibition for both teams to kind of figure out their identities and open up the playbook a little?
Honestly, if I were them, that's how I would use it. I would use it like that because even though you're losing or even though that you're winning, just see what your team can do. You haven't been able to do that as much, especially with the restrictions with COVID-19.
That's a good point because
go out and explore and experiment with your playbook. Try to do more with it. And I believe both coaches will do that, especially if it's Highland. They have had so much success that they could try out so many new things, and they could be very successful with it because of the poor coverage, the dominant run to the outside, the terrific lineman play. This is a half where both teams should experiment and open up the playbook a little bit more. I know it's much easier said than done, but I think this would be the best time to do so, especially with the out-of-sync rhythm that the offense for the Jaguars has been showing, especially with Edmonds at quarterback. Just doesn't look comfortable, looks very nervous and out of sync. So try something new. And you know what? If one of your experiments works, you put up points and you get a big play and you know that can become a go-to play.
The second half is underway. It's a fake handoff by Nauta to Crandall, and Nauta's going to get up the sideline. What a cutback. Man, he slammed on the brakes and is able to get out near midfield, so a good start.
That was a cool little trick right there. It kind of threw a couple players off. Just a fake handoff, hold it behind your back for a sec, then go.
The change of pace was what impressed me. That looked like a rally car.
Yeah.
Or not a rally car, a funny car when they pulled a parachute at the end of the drag strip. That was a really good job slamming on the brakes.
I think that's another thing that Highland has done such a great job of. They've changed the pace to where they're comfortable because you've seen the Jaguars go hurry up the entire game. The Hawks have went their pace and dominate on time of possession as well.
Don't fumble on the first play. Walter's able to dive right on top of it. Probably the first mistake all night made by Highland.
Yeah, it just looks like he bobbled the snap, got right back on it, lost a couple yards, which will leave it second down and long. This could be the time where they go the pass right now.
And Walters has shown off an impressive arm.
Yeah, he's shown that he has that deep ball accuracy. He really has. He's 2 for 3 on deep balls tonight with 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, he spread the wealth around to his receivers as well. 4 different Hawks have scored. As Walters is going to roll out on second down, tries to cut to the outside, gets a nice block, and is able to get up the sideline near midfield, and is going to make this third manageable. So Walters showing his ability to get yards on the ground as well.
That's a big play right there, especially because he felt the pressure, had his instincts, read the defense very well in their zone coverage, and just took what he could get. Now this is a much more manageable third down for them. And honestly here, if they want to, with how physical their backs have been playing, they could go the run, and they could power their way for a first down.
Instead, they're going to go trips to the left, and a single receiver closest to us. Walters is going to roll out, then throw back the other way to Hess. Hess gets a nice block and then turns on the Jets. Hess across midfield and picks up a first down all the way to the Jaguar 42-yard line.
Beautiful execution of the trip set right there, especially when you got single coverage on the near side to us. Right there, beautiful cut in, beautiful block from number 50, Clint Lee. Great block right there from the guard position and going out, making the block, giving Hess the room to go out and get that first down. A great catch and run right there.
3 wide receivers again, but this has all the makings of a Molyneux run. And here it comes. Molyneux stumbled at first and is able to pick up 10 after that, so put 10 more yards for Molyneux after contact.
You saw the Jaguars running back, Wolver, who's also on defense, trip him up at the beginning, got his feet. Molyneux got back on his feet and got 10 yards and got another first down for them. A great play right there. The yards after contact continue to tally up for the Hawks in this game.
Now threatening to cross into the red zone. They're 6 yards away from that line. Walters under center. Strong side to the right is the formation, and that's where the handoff will go. It's Molyneux again battling forward. They cannot get him down when they first touch him.
Looks like that was a generous spot for the Jaguars as he lunged forward for a couple more yards. But another great run because they had him right at the line of scrimmage and he just kept powering his way through. I cannot talk about how efficient and how impressive it has been to see the running backs for the Hawks just fight for those extra yards.
Looks like they're going to bring pressure, and they do. Walters, with pressure in his face, is going to go down. Good sack by the Desert Ridge defense. They had a delayed blitz coming all the way from the safety position that time.
Yeah, you saw the strong safety right there, delayed blitz come through. That's the first time we've really seen the pressure get to Walters and to the offensive line this game. First time he's been really hurried and sacked. So that now we have third and long, and you got to expect a pass play here.
So another opportunity to watch the arm of Joe Walters, who has been impressive to watch tonight.
Yeah, he's been extremely impressive, throwing it deep, been really efficient, hitting his guys, Cole Crandall and Eloy Hess right there.
So here it comes, third down, and they're going to go in the direction of Gage Wilcox, and Wilcox is going to be knocked backwards at about the original line of scrimmage, which is going to make it fourth down and 10.
And it looks like they're going to stay out on the field for that. And I could have expected this because with where they are on the field, you could see them just going to get some yards right away on third down and make it a more manageable fourth down instead of having to go like Madden style 4 verts deep. But now you've got a manageable play here where you can even go slant routes, a couple crossing routes. They have a lot of options here with a much more manageable like 4th and 8.
So Walters is going to go in the shotgun. Everyone that's caught a touchdown from him tonight, Hess and Crandall, are on the field. Watch Hess at the bottom of your screen. Number 5 in single coverage. Walters is going to look that way. They throw the bubble screen again to Hess, and Hess is going to be dragged down. So a turnover on downs for the Hawks. Interesting play call to throw short of the sticks on fourth down.
Yeah, and you saw the Jaguar defense. They read that right away. They saw Walters move his eyes right to Hess, and they went right at him. I would have tried something different there. I wouldn't have gone for a quick pass screen right out there. I probably would have gone maybe try to get Jake Soul, the tight end, another target across the middle of the field, opening up maybe some rolls like that touchdown to Crandall, his first one where you saw the safeties watch the middle of the field opening up opportunities deep. But now you see the Jaguars get the ball for the first time in the second half.
Is it possible that Highland just doesn't want to put all their deep routes on film?
You know, that could also be the thing, trying to not show all their cards.
That was an interesting move by number 26, Wyatt Landry. He's been in on a few carries tonight. He's also returned kicks and has played as an outside corner.
Yeah, he played safety and some corner tonight. He went a little bit risky there. He's not down. He just extended the ball out.
He extended the ball out.
If a Highland player would have saw that, they could just punch the ball out.
We could have been looking at our 5th turnover of the night for Desert Ridge.
Yeah, that was something I would not have expected to see. But
so here comes 2nd down, and Emmons is going to go to the air. Again, he is outside the pocket almost immediately, and did he throw an interception? No, it's incomplete.
Great coverage by the linebackers for Highland right there. Honestly, if I were Emmons, I would just threw that ball away. He had no open receivers. He threw it in double coverage right there.
Didn't look like the play call, Ryan, was to roll out there. Just looked like Emmons was uncomfortable.
It looks like, and that's been the storyline for him this entire game, is that he's just looked so nervous and uncomfortable in the pocket that he just is relying to roll out, and it's just not looking good for him. That was not a great throw.
So 3rd down and long again. Emmons back to the air. Pressure comes, batted down at the line. Incomplete again.
Another great play by this Highland Hawks defensive line who's gotten constant pressure on him. But now they add a nice batted pass, 4th down, and now that's going to force the Jaguars to punt for the 2nd time in this game.
The Jaguars have been aggressive on 4th down, but as the game has developed and Highland has extended their lead, the Jaguars have.
And I feel like the Jaguars realized that going forward all those times hurt them a little bit. And
in what way?
It may have hurt them because they're giving them some good field position. When they're at like midfield, they could pin them nearly inside the 20. But instead they go for it, and if they don't get it, they have solid field position near midfield for the start of the drive for the Hawks. So they must have felt that adjustment needed to be made to keep the margin down.
28-0. By no means is Desert Ridge out of the game, but that doesn't qualify that they're in this one either. It's just about a stable lead.
Yeah, they're continuing to be dominated, especially on the offensive side of the ball. They got a great stop on defense to start the half, and you know what? That could have been the making of a nice momentum shift if they could have gotten some points up. But now they just give the ball right back to Highland, and that little slim hope or glimmer of hope is gone.
Molyneux, again, staying up after first contact, as he's done all night. And this has been impressive from this Highland JV team. And you have to think about, as we're preparing for our broadcast tomorrow night for the varsity game, the future of this Highland Hawks team, the farm system, if you will, is coming on very strong.
And you know, it's great to see, because looking forward to the defense for tomorrow night, 10 of their 11 starters on defense are seniors. And seeing the way that this defense is playing, if I'm a Hawks fan, I'm ecstatic. I'm excited for the future. Even though you want to focus on this year, you've got to be excited for the future of this program.
Walters nearly threw an interception there. That was interesting. He had 4 wide receivers running down the field and elected to check it down.
That was Wolver right there on the play. He read that perfectly from the linebacker position. That was an ill-advised throw. I think that the Hawks are really trying to not showcase what all they have. And, again, I see the point to it. I ultimately disagree with it, because if I'm a coach, you don't want to give any team a chance of coming back. Just look at Super Bowl 51. Super Bowl 51, Patriots down by 25 and came back. You got to keep your foot on the gas.
Of course, Tom Brady was quarterbacking that Patriot team.
Yeah,
not to say that Travis Emmons is not a bad quarterback, but nobody's on the Tom Brady level, as Walters is going to slide down and avoid the sack.
Yeah, he avoided 2 hits there, and it just looks like he slipped because he was going to try to wrap around and get out of it. But now that is going to force a long 4th down, and this is going to be Highland's first punt of the game.
We've seen the quarterback slide come into popularity a lot more over the past couple of years, spurred on by guys that are relying on their feet, like Lamar Jackson, Cam Newton, Kyler Murray. And it seems like it's also started at the high school level as well. Quarterbacks a lot more relying on their ability to run.
And, you know, that's just the way the game is transcending to, is that you're seeing more and more dual-threat quarterbacks. And I don't know if it's really as much of the players wanting to slide as much as the coaches telling them.
Here comes a fake. And a good cutback. And a chance to pick up the first down. Another good cutback. Oh, they got it.
The fake punt works.
So the second time Highland goes with a fake on special teams tonight. How about the special teams coordinator showing the bag?
Honestly, I've been as impressed with special teams. Two very risky calls that have played out. The first one, of course, was taken away by the penalty, but still a great call there and a great play by the punter, getting around, making some cuts, and really fighting for those extra yards, which will bring the offense back out of the field near midfield.
Not very often as commentators you get to say, great cutback by the punter.
Yo, you never get to say that.
Never get to say that.
Never. If anything, you get to say, what a nice throw from the punter, you know?
Yeah, exactly. It's Molyneux through the middle again, and he's barreling over guys down inside the 40-yard line.
Like I said earlier, he's acting like Derrick Henry, going right through guys, powering his way through. And, you know, this isn't the typical style of running backs anymore. Running backs are more and more involved in the passing game, using their hands more agile, less powerful. But I really like how Molyneux's played, and I like his style of play a lot.
Molyneux's also shown he's able to catch some passes as well. Highland, again, not going down after first contact, as this play has a little bit of extracurricular activity to it. It's going to be a tackle for a loss.
Yeah, and you have not seen that. I think that's the first or second tackle for loss by the Jaguar defense. So you're not really seeing this team just give up after first contact. They are continually fighting, and that's what you want to see, is the physicality from your team.
It's impressive to watch, up 28-0 in the second half.
Yeah.
So Grady is the running back. Walters under center, and they'll fake it to Grady. Walters rolls out, throws a dart right to his intended target, and slipping out of bounds after a pickup of a few is Jacob Soul, the tight end.
That's his first reception of the game. A nice route right there, a short out route right away. You saw Walters roll out right away. Nice, crisp pass to him. Gets the first down.
Yeah, he put that right where it needed to be. Those
right
are
on the
tough
numbers.
passes.
Yeah, right on the numbers. Especially for high school quarterbacks who are still developing their ability to throw on the run. Great pass right there.
Walters in the shotgun. Grady remains the running back. 4 defensive linemen getting ready to come after him. And the play action fake thrown right at the feet of Crandall, who wasn't ready for the pass. A miscommunication between quarterback and receiver
that was nearly
there.
picked off by Landry. But you saw some miscommunication. You saw that on the interception from Edmonds on the first drive at the beginning of the game. But now you're seeing some miscommunication between Walters and Crandall. So something to clean up there. But he was lucky that that pass was not intercepted.
Highland's going to remain with the football. They've tried to turn it over twice on this drive. The first time.
And again, they're going with that trip set. They could be going with another screen pass here to the near side by us.
Crandall's the near side receiver, and he almost caught it on the slant route, thrown a bit high by Walters. You'd like to see that more in front of the receiver than at the fingertips.
Yeah, the best part about a slant route is when the quarterback can lead his receiver. That's the one thing that quarterbacks love to do, is either put it right in the breadbasket for like that nice, beautiful throw, or lead your receiver. And that was just a high throw, not really leading him. But I'm glad that they're exploring more routes with their wide receivers. That's the first time we've really seen any wide receiver for the Hawks tonight run a slant route. And I like it. I think that they could do more of that. Now they've got a long third down. You could see it again from Crandall, who's on the near side right by us.
Crandall on the near side. Josh Badsey on number 4 checks in for some of his first action at wide receiver as Walters goes across the middle and at the feet of his intended target, just thrown a little bit behind. Looked like Jacob Soul, who was the intended target, so 4th down.
Looks like a little bit more miscommunication there, because you saw Walters look at his direction right away, and you saw both of them make that eye contact, but Soul kept running. Why not just stay right there and haul it in and then fight for those extra yards? But now they have a 4th and long. Let's see if they can convert here.
They're going to leave the offense out. Walters is going to go back to pass. He's going to throw down the left side, and a routine interception for Desert Ridge. And this is going to be returned up the far side and knocked out of bounds, crossing midfield. So the first turnover of the game for the Highland Hawks.
More miscommunication for the Hawks here, and that's probably the worst drive we've seen from them. A lot of miscommunication between Walters and his receivers. Maybe they were trying to open up the playbook a little bit more, and they're just not ready. The rhythm is not there. And you've seen it for the Jaguars. Now you're seeing it for the Hawks, that long layover. So that's probably something that they should maybe go back to what they were doing well, running it to the outside, doing those nice deep passes when you have those opportunities from the busted coverage. But you've seen the adjustment from the Jaguars. You got to recognize that their coverage has been a lot better this half.
Oh, it's been night and day, the difference.
Light years better.
28-0 the score. That's the way we started this quarter. But maybe a chance for Desert Ridge to get on the scoreboard this drive.
Yeah, they've got great field position right at midfield.
Best field position they've started with all night long. The handoff goes to number 8, and he's going to go up the middle for about 8 or 9 yards.
See, they're going back to what has worked for them, running up the middle on first down. You've seen the Jaguars try to do new things, but start off with what you know is going to work with those runs up the middle and then funnel in the new plays and keep the defense on their toes.
A little less motion coming out of the Jaguar offense.
Yeah, you're not seeing Temperado motioning every play, but now you see running back Landry motion a little bit there.
And again, the straight give up the middle is going to give the Jaguars enough for a first down.
That's their first down of the second half, and they're moving the ball really well right now. After those first couple of plays, getting the first down, they're trying to score, get a little bit of momentum, trying to slowly climb and crawl their way back into this game.
1 minute and 40 seconds left in the third quarter. Landry in motion, and Emmons is going to dump it off to number 8. And it's going to go for about 5 or 6 as they cross the 35. They have not reached the red zone at any point in tonight's game.
No, they have not. They're right at the door of the end zone. They're knocking on it right now. But that play was good execution from Emmons. He saw the pressure right away, just dumped it off. That's really just him going through his progressions and getting his check down.
If there's such a thing as tipping pitches, there's such a thing as tipping play calls. Emmons has almost tipped every time he's going to hand the ball off. He stands further forward, and there it is, another straight give. And that's just something I've observed. And that's just something I've observed, and maybe the defense has picked up on it as well, because Emmons seems to stand a little more relaxed when he's about to pass and a little closer to the line when he hands it off.
Also, when he's about to hand it off, he's really looking at the sideline more, saying, what are we doing? Like, trying to throw them off. And those are things that teams pick up on, like when you have a third base coach or a player on a baseball team picking up the signs, you know?
That's a fair point.
So they got to do something different to throw the Highland Hawks defense off here.
Landry goes in motion. High snap. Bobble by Emmons. He's going to be flattened in the backfield. It didn't look like he found the ball after it went over his head, but a good job by Landry to dive on it.
Yeah, that was a great play by Landry. The defensive end coming in right there, I'm curious as to, I think that was his momentum leading him to just knock Emmons down instead of just falling on the ball. That's got to be his momentum. But, hey, kept him away from the ball. And maybe you could see the Jaguars go out and try to go with something deep here. They got nothing to lose. We're going to the fourth quarter now. Got nothing to lose, down by 28.
Nothing to lose, down by 28. We'll see what happens when we return on the other side of things from Gilbert, Arizona. 28-0, Highland leads it. Well, we flip fields for the start of the fourth quarter. 28-0 Highland Hawks. JV leads it over Desert Ridge Jaguars JV. And maybe a chance to flip momentum here for the Jaguars, Ryan.
Yeah, They've got a long fourth down here. But in this type of game, you're down big, experiment. Of course, you don't want to showcase some stuff for your next opponent next week, but still go for something. And you see that's what they're going to do here.
This is going to be 4th and about 20.
Interesting how they only go with a 3 wide receiver set here and still have a running back lined up behind Emmons.
Yeah, pistol formation, which is what they've relied on.
They've gone to pistol formation throughout this entire game.
Emmons back to pass. Again, uncomfortable with the pressure coming. Throws across the middle, intercepted. 2nd interception of the night by Highland. Returned up the near side is number 13, Alex Kempton, with the interception.
Another great play by this defense. Like I said, their back's up against the wall, and now they are making plays, getting pressure, and get another turnover. Their 5th one tonight.
5th turnover of the night. It might be time to break out the turnover chain. Or if they don't have a turnover chain, time to work on getting a turnover chain.
Yeah, it's time. Maybe Highland needs one.
Maybe Highland does need one. At least the JV team, because 5 turnovers in the first game. The defense coordinator has to be ecstatic.
Completely dominant. And you know what? The defense is what fuels the offense. And it's been great to see the defense continually make plays, giving the offense confidence to try to do what they want to do with their pace and their plays, because they're not playing from behind. They're given the opportunity to get the lead and play at their pace.
Yeah, this team running as smoothly as Henry Ford's automobile shop right now.
What a great analogy.
Thank you.
What a great analogy. Were you just holding that one out for the right time?
I came up with that about 10 seconds ago and was just trying to find the right words. First down, handoff to Molyneux. He breaks the first tackle because of course, and then runs over the second tackler, which is number 3. So give a call to Caden Romero, who's seen some looks on offense at receiver in this game.
Continually, he's going through that first tackle. He was dragging his first defender along with him before Romero could drag him down. It's insane to see Molyneux just play so physically and continue to get yards after contact.
Yeah, Molyneux, whatever he was doing during quarantine this offseason, he needs to stick with that workout regimen. He's going to get the call again, jitterbugs a little bit, and then carries a man forward for it's going to be a first down.
Right there. He just carried 3 guys for about a 5-yard gain for a first down. You don't see that in high school football very often. You don't see that in any level of football often.
You know, there's been a lot of credit to this offensive line, but they've let guys through as Desert Ridge has crowded the box, and it really has not bothered Carson Molyneux.
No, it has not bothered him whatsoever. It's bothered Walters a little bit when he drops back to pass, but not Molyneux at all.
Yeah, Walters has had a little bit more of a struggle this half. Big hole for Grady as he bursts into the second level and a big run. And a player down for the Hawks. Player down on the field. It's going to be number 74.
Christian Larson is down, and it looks like he is grabbing his ankle.
And so players on both sides. Showing concern for Christian Larson, who is down on the field. First injury tonight.
Yeah, you never want to see this type of injury. He's just writhing in pain. It looks like he can't put any pressure. And it looks like he's probably going to need help getting off the field, and that's the last thing you want to see to any player.
A lot of credit goes to Highland's training staff as Christian Larson's father, Brandon Larson, athletic director here at Highlands, going to go check on his son.
And it looks like they're just trying to get him up, trying to see if there's anything they can do at this point. And now the training staff from the Desert Ridge sideline is coming out to help as well.
So as Larson gets treated on by the medical staff at Highland, we're going to step aside and return to Gilbert in just a moment.
And we are back with Christian Larson walking off on his own power to the bench as he will sit there and get more attention from the training staff. But we are back with under 10 and a half minutes left in this game. Highland leads Desert Ridge 28-0.
Yeah, Ryan, it has been as successful of a night as the Highland Hawks could have asked for, as Fall Grady, again a nice run. 2
straight great runs from him, just really exploiting through the hole created by the guard and the tackle twice in a row for gains, 4 first downs, 2 gains probably over 12 yards each. He's really been great coming in with giving their other running backs rest, and he's really paying dividends, running hard and getting those extra yards.
Walters under center. Fresh set of downs, and they'll hand it off. This time, D.R. was ready, and they'll wrestle the running back down in the backfield. Just under 10 minutes to go. You surprised to still see the starters in for Highland?
Honestly, no, because you still got to get that. You got to get the rhythm. You got to get the chemistry going. If this was a regular season where you would have had football already about a month or so in, then, yeah, it would be shocking to have the starters still in. But this is the first game. You still got to get the chemistry. You still got to get the rhythm in. And that's the reason why I think it's in. And because this is going to be a season of a lot of firsts because of the long layover due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
Handoff goes through the middle, and
looks like that was Jackson Rice's first carry of the game.
Yeah, give the call to Jackson Rice as he picks up 7 and makes it from a 2nd down and 12 to a 3rd down and short. Look, 3rd down and medium. We'll give him 3rd down and medium. 3 wide receivers come onto the field. And Walters going to go back under center. Rice remains the tailback. And they'll fake it. And a good fake. Walters stepping out, throws it to Soul. Soul trying to get in the end zone. Soul hit at the 2 and knocked backwards to the 3.
The second time we have seen Walters fake the handoff and roll out and hit Soul off of a nice little post route or an out route. Another great play call right there to get the first down on 3rd down. And now they are 1st and goal inside the 5-yard line.
But hold the phone, Ryan. This one is coming back. Maybe holding on the play. And maybe that's why Walters was so far ahead of the defensive line when he rolled out.
Yeah. Penalties kill drives, and that's something you don't want to see or have to deal with. But honestly, Highland has played a very clean game. Both teams have had clean games. Not many penalties have been thrown, but the penalties have been killer for Highland. Big play was erased right there, and that fake extra point, 2-point conversion was taken away because of a penalty as well.
Yeah, almost surprising to see the lack of penalties in tonight's game as Walters goes to the air, goes to the end zone for Crandall, who couldn't find it, or maybe gave up on it because that ball was 10 yards outside of his grasp.
Yeah, that was not the best throw, but a good read. He saw the read. Crandall had a step or 2 gain on the cornerback, just overthrown. But that's one of the few times we have seen Walters have an inaccurate pass deep.
All right. Ryan, we're going to bring the field goal unit out once again. The ball, to me, looks like it's on the 27-yard line, so this is going to be a longer field goal than was attempted at the end of the first half. It'll be Crew Crockett to kick. Good snap, good hold. Crockett's kick, end over end. It is no good.
Just
missed it left
of the upright. Another great kick from him, just a little bit left.
So Crockett had the line for his last kick. This time had the distance, but missed it to the left. So Highland remains up on the scoreboard 28-0, but has not recorded a point in the second half. Is that of any concern to this Highland coaching staff, Ryan?
Honestly, a little bit. I think that there's still those kinks that they got to work out, especially their second drive of the second half that ended in that interception with multiple miscommunications between Walters and the receivers. But I don't think they're trying to put a lot of stuff on tape because they have a lead. They want to keep it as blank as they can.
Big run by number 8. He's going to the second level. He's taking the rest of the Highland defense with him. He's getting to the 50-yard line. Look at the big boy rumble.
And that's the first time I've seen it since the first drive of the game where Highland did not do a good job of tackling because they went up high. For good tackling, you got to take them out where the momentum is low at the hips and at the legs, and they just didn't do it there.
Temperado goes in motion again, shaking off the first tackle, number 8. And just like in NCAA football, we are referring to him by his jersey number because he does not have a roster spot based off of what was given to us up in the booth by the Desert Ridge staff.
It does feel like college football with having to say their numbers.
Temperado in motion again, and he'll get the pitch, and he's going to be dragged down behind the line of scrimmage. Tandem tackle by 2 Highland defenders is going to make it third down and long.
That's the first time we have seen the triple read option this half from them, and maybe they thought that Highland would forget about it, but they sniffed that out like a dog going for a bone, and they got a huge loss there.
That was a good analogy.
Thank you. I try.
Yeah, I mean, that was good. Look, we got a whole season to work on these analogies.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's going to take some time, but every here and there we'll come up with a few.
Third down and long for the Jaguars as Evans is going to roll out and chuck this one to the sideline. Flag flies, though. This is going to be roughing the passer.
Jack, do you agree with that call, if that's what it is?
Well, I was going to ask you because I watched the ball fly out of bounds. You were the one that was able to get a better look at it, so what do you think?
I don't think that's roughing the passer because it's not that he hit him after the play. As he was about to release the ball, made contact, went for the sack. He still had the ball in his hands when he was reaching out for him. I disagree with that call, but they're going to call it. It's not roughing the passer is a very tough call. You're seeing less of it at the collegiate and professional levels because it's late hit or unnecessary roughness. But here, I disagree with that. It kind of seemed like he threw it out of bounds because he was about to get sacked, not because he just didn't have anyone open. So I personally disagree. Temperado goes back in motion again.
And the handoff to number 8. Just the first step of his road to glory.
I'm curious to see why we have not seen Wolver as much in the second half out of the backfield for the Jaguars.
Yeah, no on-field injuries for Wolver, but he has not been the primary back like he was in the first half.
No, he's played mostly on defense, had some great plays on defense, almost intercepting Walters, but we have not seen him on the field for offense very often, very much.
Emmons is going to get hit, completes the pass to number 8. No roughing the passer that time.
Great pressure right there, a great tackle, taking him out at his momentum. The best way to get a guy down is to take him out low.
5 minutes, 45 seconds left in this game. Still 28-0 Highland as they're trying to pitch the shutout to open the season. Pretty much the same formation by Desert Ridge this entire game. Emmons has been in the pistol.
Yeah, they've gone with the pistol formation nearly this entire game. Even on third down and longs, they've still gone with it.
Emmons takes the snap, rolls out to his left, throws it deep down the field, and this is going to be incomplete, but obvious pass interference.
Yeah, that's an obvious call. It's because the rule is you have to turn to make an attempt a play at the ball. Didn't turn, has back to the ball, really focused on making the hit in case he caught it, and that's an obvious pass interference call.
Highland's letting Desert Ridge down the field on this drive based off of penalties. We commended Highland for not incurring that many fouls up until this drive. This has been sloppy.
They've had two bad penalties because these are potential game-changing penalties if it's a close game late in the game. And this will be the first time that the Jaguars are in the Hawks' red zone.
First time. All night.
First time in this game. Can they make another play here, or will they give up their first points of the season?
And it comes with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Ball inside the 20. Emmons pitches it out to Temperado. Temperado trying to cut it up the field. Those pitch outs haven't worked like that inside zone has.
Yeah, the inside zone is what's really helped them gain yards, especially on first down. But went back to that triple read option, And they got lucky that they missed a couple tackles behind the line of scrimmage. It just seems that the Jaguars are trying to continually keep them off on their toes. But when you got something that's working, keep going with it.
So we'll see if they heed your advice
And
on
we
this
have
play. Another penalty.
A jump, and it looks like it's going to be another penalty on the Hawks.
Yeah, it's going to be offsides, Ryan.
That's their third penalty in the past 5 plays. And I can expect that this JV team will have some running this weekend at practice after some sloppy play to end this game.
Yeah, it doesn't look like the focus is the same
Yeah.
as it was in the first half. That was a good play
That was a great play.
tackle behind the line.
Another tackle for loss. But they still have surrendered a lot of yards due to penalties. 15 yards for the roughing the passer, 15 yards for the pass interference, 5 yards for the offsides. These are yards that you got to make them get. You can't just give away free yards. Otherwise, teams are going to take advantage of that.
Essentially giving up more than a third of the field in penalties on this drive.
They have.
Emmons back to the pistol as he's
been all night, really.
has been all night.
And Landry
and he'll
goes
take
in motion.
the snap. Inside zone, here it comes. And number 8's going to lunge forward close to the marker for a first down. And with 4th down, 3 minutes left, down by 28, it seems pretty obvious what the play call is going to be.
Well, it looks like the Jaguars are going to use a timeout here. They want to figure something out to where they can get the first down.
Yeah, they want to put points on the board at least.
Yeah, they don't want to get shut out. Even though this game is really out of reach, the last thing they want to do is be shut out.
Yeah, no team wants to get shut out.
No, that's just demoralizing to a team. And imagine just starting the season off with a shutout. Imagine what that does to the morale going into next week.
But honestly, this has been a pretty evenly matched second half. But from my observation, it's been more of Highland playing down to Desert Ridge instead of playing where they were in the first half.
This has been a sloppy second half by both sides of the ball for Highland. You've seen miscommunication and a turnover from the offense. And then the defense is giving up free yards with penalties, having trouble tackling. So not a great way to end the game. Of course, it doesn't really matter, but you still don't want to do that when it's really crucial late in games and in close games. So that's definitely something that's going to be a point of emphasis for the Hawks going into next week's matchup.
Yeah, not a threat for this game, but definitely.
You still want to play at your best every single down, every single play.
Miscommunication by Desert Ridge. Emmons ripped down in the backfield. So make it 6 total turnovers tonight by the Jaguars. And
See,
with
once
3:08
again,
left.
the defense back is against the wall at their own goal line, and they make the play. It is truly impressive to see how many times that they can be pushed to the brink and still make plays and keep the shutout alive. Completely impressive performance by this defense.
Yeah, it has been outside of a couple penalties and a couple good runs up the middle.
Yeah.
It has been.
This defense has been really impressive today, and the future's bright for this Highland Hawks team and program.
3 minutes left, 2 timeouts for the Jaguars, and the pitch out to Molyneux. He's going to run towards the far side, try and cut it back. Still alive, but this play was whistled dead. It looked to me like a flag flew.
Yeah, a flag was thrown. Maybe a false start before the snap. It looks like the refs are on the far side of the field conversing about what the penalty is.
And we're going to get the call. Doesn't look like the ball was moved forward or back, Ryan.
Maybe it could have been something with the clock. Maybe the officials weren't ready. Maybe they hadn't blown their whistle to signify the play was ready to go. Who knows? But looks like we'll have a repeat of first down with just over 3 minutes remaining in this game.
Yeah, clock has not adjusted to reflect the last play.
Yeah.
So first down and 10. We're just going to act like that didn't happen. Molyneux, the handoff, and he's stood up in the backfield by Luke Carmelita.
Yeah, he was met by a swarm of Jaguars right there, ready to take him down. And yet he was still running, moving his legs, trying to fight forward.
2nd down and long coming up.
And they're just going to let the clock run in this one as the Hawks are looking to keep their shutout alive to start this season.
28-0. But no points in the second half for Highland. Molyneux on the right side and dragged down before he could really get going, so it's going to be 3rd down and long.
Yeah, they did a good job of closing off the outside and getting him down before he can make that cut to get to the outside where he has been most dangerous really tonight.
3rd down and long. 2 minutes now remaining in the game. Grady was in on the previous play, but he's coming out. Different set of wide receivers than we saw earlier in the night. Is this a passing down?
In this situation, I would not say so due to the score and the situation. But if they want to put a pass out there, I would not be opposed to it.
And they will. Play action fake. Walters is sacked.
Yeah, the offensive line has also taken a step back in the second half. He was not hurried or rushed once in the first half, been hurried multiple times in the second half, been sacked twice. Not a good way to start, not a good way to end this game, because the one thing is football is a game of momentum shifts and who can capitalize on any advantages that they get. You got to play a complete game of football to be most successful, and we have not really seen a fully complete game from the Highland Hawks tonight.
Punt unit out for Highland. And with under 60 minutes now to play, they'll motion out. They have come out to punt one time, but that was a fake. This looks like it's going to be a real punt. And there it is. And it is leaving a little bit to be desired. It takes a fortunate bounce for Highland out to the 40-yard line. So with 38 seconds left, the only loose end to tie up in this game, Ryan, is whether the Jaguars are going to get on the board.
And it would just be, I think it would be big for the Jaguars if they got points here, just to show that the offense can get points on the board. Because the offense has left so much to be desired in this game with 6 total turnovers and multiple miscues. So this could be big for them if they scored here.
But definitely the right adjustments have been made in the second half by the Jaguars as opposed to the Hawks.
Especially on defense. The coverage and the whole defensive outlook made some great adjustments and really shut down the offense that was so dominant in the first half.
Travis Emmons, who has been the quarterback all night for Desert Ridge. And again, still no Blake Wolver as Emmons goes to the air, almost intercepted.
Looks like that was off the hands of number 22, Jace Need. Great play right there, just off his hands. Good coverage. I've been very impressed with the secondary from the Hawks tonight. They have not really, they've allowed one pass for more than 10 yards in this game.
That was almost turnover number 7.
Just more testament to that defense, to how terrific they have played tonight. They've really done a great job keeping the momentum that the offense has nearly lost with some rough play in the second half.
34.6 seconds to go in the game. And to the air they will go down the middle, incomplete. And correction, there is a new quarterback in the game.
Looks like that is number 9, Preston Tomerlin, who has come in for Emmons.
So Emmons, a disappointing night where he never really seemed to find a groove.
Yeah, the storyline for him is that he was just so uncomfortable in the pocket, and he wasn't, a lot of the times when he would roll out, he wasn't under immense pressure. So I think that's something that the Jaguars have got to figure out, is what to do with Emmons and his impatience and him being uncomfortable in the pocket. Because as a quarterback, you got to be confident, you got to be comfortable and ready to take those big hits, and he just looks scared out there.
Yeah, only took one offensive lineman to really flush Emmons out of the pocket. Good pursuit to the ball by the Hawks. on that third down run.
Yeah, another great play and another tackle behind the line of scrimmage. They've had a lot of tackles behind the line. This defense has really just been terrific tonight and really been the catalyst in this game.
And that's going to be the final play of the game. So with 5 seconds remaining, Highland JV is going to secure a 28-0 win in game 1 of their season. They started out with 28 in the first half and held on in the second half. A dominating performance by the Hawks tonight.
Especially on the defensive side of the ball. A very impressive effort overall. Not as clean of a second half, but that is a great way to start your season, especially with a shutout and just using so many of your weapons and players on offense.
And for Highland, obviously you're going to have to go over the second half, but they emptied the bag a little bit tonight.
Yeah.
They showed us a couple fakes on special teams. They showed us a little bit of their running game and their passing game, some screens, some defense, and then, of course, overall, you're going away with a win in game 1.
Yeah, and you know what? Oh, especially for a start of a season, if you haven't played your best, you know what? You're getting a win to start your season. This is the foundation that they have made for the rest of the year. And, yeah, are there things for them to work on? Yes, there's kinks to be worked out, but they have a great foundation and a great way to start the season with a win.
How about Desert Ridge? What are the things that they're going to look to improve on from tonight's loss?
Honestly, if their defense can play like they did in the second half, the defense will be fine. That's not their main worry. The worry has got to be the offense, especially the quarterback play. And I think that one thing that hurt the offense in the second half was that Wolver did not get many carries. He was great for them in the first half, putting up yards and really moving them down the field. They didn't have that in the second half from him because he didn't get many carries. But it's Emmons. They got to figure out what to do because they got to get him more comfortable in the pocket, got to get his confidence up. He just looks scared. And could that mean you see Tomerlin get a start next week? Who knows? But they gotta get more consistent with their quarterback play. The team has a lot of potential. You saw that on the defensive side of the ball in the second half, and flashes of drives in this game. They just gotta get that quarterback play solid, because what makes your offense is the leader, which is your quarterback. The game is won and lost in the trenches with your offensive line and defensive line battles. The offensive line did not play that poorly. They actually were solid. Did they have times where they gave up pressures? Yes. He wasn't sacked very often. He was sacked once or twice. And yeah, the Highland defense had a lot of tackles for loss, but overall, I just don't see why Emmons was so eager to move out of the pocket.
And, of course, there are going to be things to work on for both Desert Ridge and Highland.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But let's put this game in the overall context. It's just good to see high school football again.
Oh, it's terrific to see high school football, and it's really a sign of how far society and our whole country has come with the COVID-19 pandemic, from everything being shut down and only you're leaving your house to go get groceries and those vital essentials, to now we're having fans in the stands. It may not be 100% capacity, but there's still fans in the stands, and you get to be out here for Thursday and Friday night lights of high school football.
Yeah, good atmosphere and a good win tonight for the Highland Hawks, as they're going to take the 28-0 victory to start 1-0 on the season. Don't forget, tomorrow night is the main event as the Highland Hawks varsity team starts their season on the road against the Desert Ridge Jaguars, looking to avenge their 28-14 loss last season.
I am so excited for Friday night lights tomorrow. It's going to be incredible to see the atmosphere of the stands tomorrow night.
So, for everyone who has been a part of this broadcast, it has been so much fun to put it on. For Ryan Blank and Tobias Rain, I am Jack Johnson signing off tonight from Gilbert, Arizona. Final score, Highland 28,